What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Little Effects, back at it again with another video. And in this video, it's gonna be a little bit different than typical video that you guys been seeing. So I kind of want to start like a mindset series, because I know that trading is not all just like technical analysis, right? So it's a mindset aspect of trading that no one is pretty much talking about, and nobody's really having this conversation. So I want to start a series, a mindset series, just going over things that I think will be beneficial to, the next upcoming traders. So make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know in the comment section about the feedback that you guys, have about this type of video, right? So like, I feel like a lot of people, where they go wrong is that they think that Forex is like one of these things where it's a mastery of just like the charts. Like, oh, if I learn all of these different things about the charts, I'll be successful. And yeah, that's somewhat true to the point where, like, yeah, you have a strategy, you have an edge, you have like a game plan on how to approach the markets, to look for, you understand candlestick structure, stuff like that. Like, yeah, you have to know the information to be successful, but you don't have to know every single thing in order to be successful. And I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong. And I also feel like a lot of people go wrong because they focus so much on their studying and their like journey on just like staring at the charts all day, and they never really truly work on themselves. So I feel like it's one of those things where if you don't work on yourself during this journey, then it's going to be one of those things where like you start to see just like inconsistency in your trading. You're not seeing that success you want because you don't take the time to work on yourself outside of the charts. So what I mean by that is understanding who you are as a person. Like, what are the things that triggers you? What are the things that cause you to become emotional? Because ultimately, I'm a firm believer in that. If trading is one of those things where it reflects who you are. So it's kind of like looking at yourself in the mirror. So if you know that you have FOMO, or you know that you're super emotional, or you know that you can't hold a trade, or all of these different emotional things, it's like you need to look at your life outside of trading, right? So you need to be able to analyze, like, okay, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis? Am I impatient in real life? Am I really emotional in real life? Like, a lot of people look at zodiac signs and be like, oh, I'm a Cancer, I'm really emotional. And that, tailors into your trading. Like, how are you in real life? That's going to dictate who you are on the charts. So if you're really disciplined in real life, then more than likely you're disciplined on the charts. If you're not confident in real life, this is a really big one. If you're not confident in real life, more than likely you're not going to be confident on the charts. And I'm a firm believer that the person that's the most confident in real life, or even in the charts, is going to see the most success. Like, they're going to make the most money because they have that certain demeanor, they have that certain confidence about themselves to believe in themselves. The people that's like really agile and scared and fearful, those people never really see the success in the side of the market, because that's just their demeanor. That's who they are as a person. In trading, it takes so much mental fortitude, so much mental power, that you have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, you have to be confident in order to conquer this. Because trading is one of those fields where like 90% people fail. And I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that like, oh, trading is easy and all of that stuff. No, it's not, because it's literally you versus you. So if you're playing a game that's you versus you, why would you not work on you? Like, make it really make sense. Like, you spend so much time on the charts, but you don't really understand, like, okay, what are my habits? Am I journaling my trades? Am I journaling the things that I do, like, while I'm on the charts? And that's a reflection of like who you are. So you definitely have to take the time to recognize who it is that you are. And that's like the main step that I could give you to like enhancing your overall trading journey, enhancing your profitability, because you need to figure out what it is that's stopping you from getting to where you want to be, right? So I have this exercise that I want you guys to do, and I want you guys to focus on this, and I really want you to pay attention and to actually do this, because I feel like this is what will get you to that next level in your trading, right? So you ultimately have to figure out like who it is that you want to be, not just in trading, but who you want to be in life. So if I understand that, okay, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to be a billionaire, or I want to be, you know, I want to have the time freedom, I want to be able to do what I want, I have to understand what comes with that. So like, if I want to be a millionaire, I can't practice, you know, broke or poor mindset habits. Like, I can't do those things and say I want to be a millionaire, because they don't align. So what I want you guys to do is like envision that character of the person that you want to become. So like, think about it like if you was like playing a video game and you had to create your character, and you have to give yourself all of these different attributes, you have to give yourself, you know, all of these different, you know, traits. How would you build that character? Like, what's your ideal character that you will build? And I want you to visualize that to the point where you know exactly who it is that you want to be. So what do you do like when you first wake up? Like, that person that you're creating, what do they do when they first wake up? How do they carry themselves? How do they talk? Do they work out? How are they with people? How are they with family members? How are they with coworkers? Or how are they on the charts? Like, even thinking about to the term where like who you are as a trader, who do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody that's fearful all of the time? Or do you want to be somebody that's confident in their analysis to the point where they can hold those trades to their take profit and not be like bothered by it? Like, you see some people, they just like get in the trade, then they ultimately get out because like they get some drawdown, but in reality like the move would have played out. So like, that's where that fear comes in. So you have to build that character to the point where it's like you have no doubts, you know exactly who it is that you ultimately want to be. So like, ask yourself, how does the person, like I said, think? How do they eat? How do they carry themselves? All of those things. And then once you figure that out, you have to start acting like that individual today. So if you're watching this video and you want to become a millionaire, you need to start acting like a millionaire today. Don't wait to say, oh, once I get a million, I'm gonna start acting like a millionaire. Like, no, you need to walk, talk, carry yourself as a millionaire from this day from this day forward. And that's how you're gonna get your first million. But if you still have that poor sacred mindset where you're just like having the same habits as a poor individual, and when I say poor, I'm not really necessarily talking about money, I'm talking about like the mindset poor. If you're still moving like that, then there's no way for you to advance and get the things that you say you want. So like, one example for me, and I'm gonna give you like a backstory. When I first started trading, I knew like, okay, all of these different things were possible. So even though I wasn't making the money that I'm making now, I still did the things as if I was making the money. So what I did was like, I would go and view the penthouses that I wanted, even though I couldn't afford them. I viewed this exact same C8 literally to the T, like the same spec and everything. I went and viewed it because I'm like, one day I'm going to have that thing. I was that confident and I believed in myself that much to say, okay, I'm going to have these things. So I walked, talked, and I acted like the person that I wanted to become. Like, I couldn't say I wanted a penthouse and then still like thought of a person that's barely getting by or barely living in a house that they don't want to live in. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So I had to act like that person before. And yeah, you're gonna look crazy for a while. When I went in there, they showed me the unit and I was just like, okay, like, how much is it? And they said, okay, it was about, probably at that time was about 3,000, 4,000 for that particular unit. And I was just like, dang, like right now my rent is probably like 1,500. That's double what I'm paying or triple what I'm paying. But at the same time, I knew that that day would come where I could afford that. So I had to start moving like that in the first place. So it's all about a mindset thing. And when you're trading, your mindset is probably the biggest thing that's going to affect whether you make money or you don't. Because ultimately trading is about 90% psychology and 10% skill set. So if I can understand the material to the point where, okay, I have it down, then the rest of the work is coming from my mind frame and how I'm thinking when I'm on the chart. So when you're on the charts and you're in that trade, I want you to ask yourself, like, whoever trader that you aspire to, if you look up to me on YouTube, if you look up to anybody else on YouTube or whatever social media, I want you to ask yourself, like, okay, how would they handle themselves in this situation when you're taking that trade or you're managing that trade or whatever it is? I want you to ask yourself, like, okay, like, what would Mike Lito do? Or like, what would, you know, like the saying, like, when people like think about like religion, they say, what would Jesus do? Like, that's a real thing, because now you're thinking as if like you're that person. You're thinking in that higher mindset than what you are currently thinking of. So like, you need to just make sure that you're thinking in that positive mindset. And then also, the last thing that I have for you guys is that you need to let that old version of you go. Like, let the old fearful version, the sacred version, the inconsistent, undisciplined, you need to let that person go. Like, you need to make that character obsolete, because ultimately you can never get rid of your old self. Like, you can never just say like, oh, I'm not that like person, and completely go away. They will still be there, but what you feed grows. So if I continue to feed that character, that, oh, that $1 million character, or that, you know, professional character, or that, you know, really nice person, if I continue to feed that person every day, that person is going to grow. And then the old version of me is going to starve. It's still going to be there, but it's just not present. Like, it's just not to the... My bad, guys, the camera died. So I pretty much forget what I was saying, but pretty much you just have to let that old person go and stop focusing on that. So I'm gonna leave you guys with one more thing, and I want you to take this this word and really pay attention to like the definition. So the word is commitment. Commitment is staying true to what you said you would do long after the mood in which you said it in has left. So shout out to Inky Johnson. That definition is so important, because that character that I'm talking about you guys building, you have to hold on to that thought long enough until that character becomes real life. So it's easy for you to think about like, oh, I want to be a millionaire today, and then 2 weeks down the road you forget about what it is that you even like, that character even exists. Like, you forgot about that person. So you need to hold on to that thought every single day, to the point where those things that you're saying that you want to be becomes naturally a habit, because ultimately as humans we move off of habits. So that character that you want to build, I need you guys to think about it as soon as you wake up. Think about it and move, walk, talk, all of that on a day-by-day basis. And then eventually down the road, that person will then become true, right? Like I was telling you guys, I went and saw the penthouse before. I went and saw the C8. I went and saw my other car before it happened. And now look, here it is a couple years later. It happened because I moved, walked, talked like that, right? So that's what I have for the end of this video. One thing I want to tell you guys, I'm off social media. I'm focusing on my YouTube channel for the next 60 days. I don't have Instagram, so if you're trying to DM me on Instagram, I don't have it. You have to send an email to lidofx2@gmail.com. The link will be in the description. And this video is sponsored by Hanko Trade, the broker that I use currently right now at this moment, right? So definitely, like I said, this is going to be a mindset series that I'm going to drop. It's kind of like a car conversation mindset series thing, where I want to give you guys the topics, that the Forex conversations that no one is really talking about, right? Everybody tells you to go learn all this stuff, and they don't really talk about the mindset aspect and becoming a better person, right? So the goal of this mindset series is to encourage you guys to become better people, and not just show you, oh, like, I can make this money, or this was this trade, or this is how you draw support and resistance. I want everybody on my channel to become a better individual by the time they leave this channel. So make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next mindset series.